welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm here today for a new release. So exciting that my friend Rita Barakat has got these wonderful new stamps. There's a whole collection of them. She sent me a few to play with, and I'm actually going to be trying a mixed media piece, something for Maddie's bedroom, something encouraging and nice that I'm going to then frame up and put in her room. So a little bit different for me, so I hope you'll enjoy the ride. I'm going to try and recreate something that I learned in Dina Wakley's class in Creativation in January. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm using my Finnabair mixed media brushes. You can see how well used they really are, but I bought these. I do love them, and I'm going to use some white gesso as my base. So I'm just going to paint this on, and I'm not worried about getting it on my Tim Holtz platform. Everything cleans off of this really, really easily. So I'm just spreading this out to a reasonably thin coat. And I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes to dry. I might give it a little helping hand with my Ranger Heat It tool. My brush I will just run straight under the tap, and that'll be absolutely fine. And to clear up my work surface, I either use water, occasionally isopropyl alcohol. If it's a really tough stain, you can use alcohol blending solution. But you can see here that I can just grab a baby wipe and clean it down, and I'm ready to go with my next stage. So easy on this Tim Holtz mat. So if you are a mixed media person or a card maker, alcohol inks are easy to clear up on here. You can see what a breeze that was. So I gave it a little bit of a helping hand with my heat tool. It came out really nicely. So it's got a nice smooth surface to work on here. You may wonder why I said about running my brush into the tap rather than my nice rinse well that you've seen me use in other videos. That's currently been taken by Maddie for her science project. So if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you'll have seen that Maddie has to build a water park, and Mummy's had a big hand in that. So that's where that's gone to, if you were wondering. So I'm now also going to start laying down some pink paint. This is the Dina Wakley Magenta paint. Again, I'm just going to brush it out. I want quite a thin, streaky coat at the moment. I should mention again, if you didn't hear at the beginning, then this is not my general thing. I'm not a mixed media artist. I did do some classes at Creativation, and when Rita sent me these wonderful new stamps, I thought I would have another go at it. So we'll just see what comes out, we'll see what happens. I have a rough idea in my head how I want it to look. Don't know if that's how it's going to come out, but let's have a go. So I'm going to lay down a bit more of this pink down here. Like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a couple of colours, and I think I'm going to go with the orange and the yellow. So I'm going to use the lemon and the tangerine. Now I'm sure at this point Rita, when she's watching this, is going to laugh her head off, but I have a school meeting today and lots of videos to do. So I learned that when I was doing my school project that we had these wonderful gloves in our house. So I started using them when I had to get my fingers in, and I still had videos and other things to do as well. So not sure I want to turn up to school today for our last meeting with our teachers for the year with inky fingers. So I've just put down some circles of paint, and I'm going to just kind of work in a circle. I have to say, at this point Dina's looked far better than this, but we're just going to stick with it and see what happens, because I can always paint over the top of it again. And now I'm going to add some stenciling. So I'm going to take some sterling. I have a Dylusion stencil here with love hearts on. And I'm going to pop it down on here. I'm going to pop a little bit of paint just on the plastic piece. Then I'm going to pick another finger and I'm going to start putting some of that silver, and I only really want to go in the circle if I can with some of these hearts. Put a little bit more down. So if you're like me and you're more of a neater card maker, this may be the way to go for you. You can pop the glove on. You can buy these at the drugstore. We have them for Maddie's injections. And you might also be able to hear Tilly playing out there. So again, I'm just going to keep So I'm just doing a tapping motion. Then I'm going to lift this up. So you can see on there, we've got those wonderful silver pieces. I'm just trying to find somewhere. I'm just going to pop this down on here. That. And then I'm just going to try to just kind of smooth out some of the edges of this circle. Like so. I'm kind of done with the finger painting, I think, for the moment. So I'm just going to pull this bit off. So I'm sure if you're a mixed media artist, you saw me do that, you found that quite funny to have a go at. Again, I'm going to wait for this to dry, or maybe give it a little bit of helping hand again, and then we're going to start adding our stamped pieces to it. So now that layer is dry, I'm going to start doing some stamping, and then we may add some more details afterwards. I've decided to use reflections. As I say, I've got 3 of the new collection. There are more. This is Sassy Sue, which I can see also working on a really nice sort of traditional card making card. And then we also have Sing, and I love how she's got the music notes and things and the treble clefs in her hair there as well. So some really fun things. Plus I have a Hedgehog Hollow exclusive code for 10% off at Technique Junkies for the new collection. So that will be in your description below. In that bottom right hand corner, you want to click that arrow that's just below there, or hop on over to the blog as well. There's a link in that description, or thehedgehoghhollow.com. So I'm going to take my stamp, and these are red rubber, so I have the cling on the back. You just have to peel that piece of paper off. And I have my Dylusions block here, which is perfect. And so I'm going to load it up with some Ranger Archival ink. If I have detailed areas, I kind of tilt my pad upwards and then just do like little movements like this. Because I'm not using a stamp platform or something that I could redo it on, I find that that works better. So I'm going to stamp her out, I think, down here. Let's hope we got her stamped out nicely. We did, so we have a lovely impression of her down there. I'm going to be using an Ellen Hudson stamp set for some sentiments. It's one of her newer releases. It's called Be Strong, and I just thought it was the perfect words on there, so that's the one I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go, you are strong and beautiful. And I'm going to use a couple of different blocks. So I'm a little bit smaller. This. And I'm going to use the same Ranger Archival ink. Just a bit more. I don't know about you, but when I start stamping, I have a huge expanse to stamp in or craft in, and I seem to just get this like smaller and smaller area. So I'm going to go here with my strong and work my way backwards. And sometimes if I have a larger sentiment or one element that's large, I'll start with the large piece and then I will kind of work my way backwards and forwards with the other parts of the sentiment. So I'm now going to do the beautiful part and then I'll work out where my and's going to go. So we still have some spaces and things. Now I know typically with mixed media you use collage and all sorts of things. Well, I don't have a huge amount of mixed media pieces, but I did pull out a couple of Prima resins that I have, and I also have these beautiful mechanicals as well. So I'm thinking we'll probably add some of those on. I'm also wondering whether I could fit some of these in too. So I'm just going to kind of play around a little bit. I'm just going to lift this up so I can look at the back, kind of as far over as you can go. So I think I'm not going to use that one. This is kind of my process when I'm crafting. If you've ever watched one of my videos before, sometimes I kind of just play around. So I'm going to go with some of these Finnabair mechanicals. This. Maybe even some resin flowers. Like so. And we might even use some of the other sentiments in here as well. So, so the first thing I'm going to do is stick these down, and I'm going to use gel medium to stick these down. So I have to say, Dina gave us some of this gel medium in her class to use. I was really impressed by it. I love how it worked with kind of things on tissue paper or deli paper as well. So you may notice this is something I'm kind of struggling with. It's not my typical style. I could have done something very kind of regular card making and things with these new releases, but I wanted to try something a bit different. I like to kind of push myself, I guess, into things that I wouldn't normally do. So what I did was grab some of my other Prima supplies. This is some Sparks paint. This is in Mermaid Sparkle. And I'm just going to kind of use what's on the lid first of all. And then I'm going to grab a smaller paintbrush. Like this one. I'm going to use everything that's on the lid first of all. And you will see it's moving around a little bit with that gloss gel until that gel dries, but that's fine. So I'm just coating the edges of those petals. And I'm just going to kind of add some of this paint in down here, just tie everything together a little bit more. And I'm going to grab a different colour. So Maddie's bedroom is kind of this tealy, duck eggy I guess it's probably more this kind of colour, this turquoisey colour. But I'm trying to choose colours that will complement it nicely. And I'm also going to try some of this. So this is another one of their metallic paints. And this one is emerald green. So I'm going to use that on this one down here. And so I'm kind of more stippling than anything. And I'm just kind of catching some of the edges. I'm trying not to worry about the fact that it's going on my canvas. I mean, you can paint over these too. See, I'm just adding some colour in there. Whoops. I'm just going to wipe this out on my baby wipe that's still just over here. And I'm going to grab some of this yellow. Oh, maybe I'm not. Yes, I am. This is called Pure Sunshine. And again, it's got some of that lovely mica metallic piece in it. And yes, you can see right, I'm getting my fingers in there. I do have to wipe them though. I think I'm going to add a little bit here. And I'm going to add a smidge in here. I'm actually going to go back to that emerald green. And I'm just trying to pick out some accent bits in that flower with the darker colour. So I'm mainly working out the lid here. Lots of paint in there to use up. And then I'm going to grab, I think, some more words, just to kind of fill in a few of the spaces. So let's have a look at what else we have on here. We have brave, which I think would be nice. So we could do another and. We can then pick up our brave. Great thing, excuse my head for a second. I'm going to cheat, I'm going to pick that up, pop it back down, and you can see there, that came in really nicely. I'm also going to put another kind of she says. So I'm going to really cheat here. If you're a card maker, look away now. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. And because I can't fit my acrylic block in there, and yes, I do have smaller ones, but I'm going to be a lazy crafter today. And then I'm going to grab my big box of pens. I'm going to grab a Sharpie. Just going to twist this around a little bit. So I'm going to touch in that E for my brave. I'm also just going to touch in a little bit here. A few details I'd like to be a little bit. I do like how you can see some of the cross hatching, so I'm not doing a huge amount, just kind of trying to lead your eye a little bit more to some of those details. Maybe I'm breaking some mixed media rule by doing that. I'm also going to pick out beautiful again. I think I might actually just do it this way. Like that. You can, of course, also stamp with the acrylic paints as well. You don't have to use an ink pad on there. But I kind of like how that looks. I'm going to frame this for Maddie. So whenever I do, I probably take it to Hobby Lobby and have it framed up. So when I have had that part done, I will, of course, link that up for you as well. And I'm going to quickly make a just a regular card as well. So I'll speed that process up and you can see another way to use these stamps too. So before I get going with my card, I just wanted to quickly show you my storage. I'm sure lots of you wonder how I store these things. So this is actually a cutlery tray. I'll link it up in the description below for you. It actually has another piece. I used to use these for my ribbon that's adjustable, but that's sitting in the drawer. It's just easier to pull this bit out because it had all my Dina Wakley things in it. So I have tools and things here, my bigger pots here. This is a brush cleaner. It's something super cheap from Amazon. Again, I'll link it up. It takes a while to arrive. They come from China, but I think they're like 99 cents for 2. They're perfect for cleaning out gesso and paints and things from your brushes. And then my paints fit perfectly in this side too.
I know you've been down thinking about him again. I know that your heart's been broken. You should try and let it go and start being yourself. You can put on your dress, we can play your favorite song, and I will take care of you, care of you, care of you. This is what we need, this is what we have to do. Tell me, can you feel it too, Baby, you should go work that body. You should go work that body. The body won't stop till we're great and old. Maybe for a second we can lose control. You should go work that body. Breakups leave the scars, you don't need to be ashamed. Everyone's got their hearts broken sometime. Let's go out and lose our minds, forget all about him. You can put on your dress, dancing to your favorite song. Everybody will sing along, sing along, sing along. So put your hands up, this is what we have to do. Tell me, can you feel it too, Baby, you should go work that body. You should go work that body. The body won't stop till we're great and old. Maybe for a second we can lose control. You should go work that body. Baby, you should go work that body. You should go work that body. The body won't stop till we're great and old. Maybe for a second we can lose control. You should go.
So there we have it, 2 very different projects from this stamp line. So something a little bit more along the mixed media. I know I've still got lots to learn. I've been watching some videos. I love Rita's Mixed Media Monday. If you haven't seen that, do hop on over to her Facebook page, Rita Barakat, and have a look for her Mixed Media Mondays. Always learn something. She has amazing things in there as well. So that's one thing, and I really like this. I think it's going to look really lovely framed up. And if you follow us on Instagram at The Hedgehog Hollow, we also post it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thehedgehoghollow. We'll post a picture of this once it's all framed up so you can see it. And then I did something a little bit more quick and simple. It actually only took me 9 minutes to make the card. I kept the timer running, even though I've edited some of the bits out in this video. It was a 9 minute and a few seconds to make this start to finish. So I used a turnabout stamp on the back, and I will link up in the corner I'll link up in that corner, can't get my words out this morning, excuse me, how turnabouts work and the template that I created that you saw me use there. I used the Nuvo Clear Mark and the new Nuvo Ultrafine Silver Embossing Powder, which has got a wonderful pop and gloss to it. It's one of the more sort of silvery chrome embossing powders in silver. Stamp this out just using some Hero Arts Hues, super simple technique, and then die cut it out as well. But I think this is a really fun card. You could of course put a nice sentiment along there. You could put something like beautiful. Let's just do that so we can finish off the card. I often leave my sentiments blank until I'm ready to send my cards. And the reason I do that is because it says hi, it might be that I'm sending it because I'm thinking of you, because of different things. So I think hi is a really nice one to have on there. And then if I want to add an extra sentiment or something on, I can do that. This one isn't going to fit. So I'm going to go with Grace. Maybe I'll use this for a teacher card. So I'm going to stamp this down like so. So of course you can just add your sentiments in like that, super simple. You can add a strip over, lots and lots of different options on there. And then you've also got all these other things as well. So you've got you are, made to be, we will be, together, stay, be. So lots of fun things that we can do with that. I love that sentiment set from Ellen Hudson. All your links, of course, are in the description below. Don't forget, I've got a coupon code off of Rita's new stamps as well. So make sure you check that out and get your 10% off too. Happy stamping, everyone. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you get notifications of any new videos we have. And give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed watching this. Maybe you had a good laugh at me wearing my gloves. If you've enjoyed this video in some way, please do give us that thumbs up, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye!